Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty, and welcome to Fun Friday. This is going to be an experimental type of video on the channel where, as has been requested a few times behind the scenes, I commentate on these battles a little more akin to how I would naturally. Now, given that this is an experimental type of video, showing your support by leaving a like and subscribing if you're new would be greatly appreciated. Before we get into the battles, I will preface that there is a fair amount of swearing in today's commentary, so if that's not your style, I completely understand. Feel free to click on another Shmeaty video. But if you're still here, I'm assuming you're down. So we're going to be running Shadow for Alligator, Shadow Gligar Safe Switch, and Annihilape in the back. And without further ado, let's hop into these matches. Alright, victim number one is going to lead an Annihilape into our Feraligatr, and this is very good for me. You are going to see me build up past the initial Hydro Cannon and fire off 6 Shadow Claws, and the reason being is that is an IV dependent CMP tie, so I could end up easily losing it and putting myself in a disadvantageous position there. So you see me not do that. They're going to try to catch a Hydro Cannon onto their Dugong. All they catch is a dead monkey's hands. They are going to fire off an Icy Wind, but I am not fazed by this Icy Wind as I have an Annihilape onto their Dugong, and now all I have to do is throw 6 counters and CMP tie them to their next move. This Shadow Ball is guaranteed to KO even though that we are -1. So they're going to respond back with their own Annihilape, and I'm going to build up to my Shadow Ball, commit to the Shadow Ball, and force them to throw their energy. But do I care? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm going to let my Annihilape go. Ice Punch will KO, but now I have a Gligar, and it seems like whatever they had in back did not want to see Gligar. GG's to this trainer. We got some cringe in the next lead. It is going to be Shadow for Alligator finding a Wigglytuff. If you use this Pokemon, I hate you. Nevertheless, we are going to stay in here as this is about the hardest core breaker I could think of when running this team. So I am going to fire off 7 Shadow Claws and fire off a Hydro Cannon shortly thereafter. They are going to put up a shield as their Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff shields everything. They know they'll get outpaced, so they are going to try to catch an alignment, and I make a really bad play here. I needed to bring in my Annihilape here. If I brought in my Annihilape, this game is absolutely over on the spot. But unfortunately, I bring in my Gligar, and they have Power Up Punch. They baited me with the Power Up Punch, which means 5 more wing attacks, and they're going to be at a Icy Wind here, so I have to respect this as well. I'm going to put up both of my shields, and this just is really bad for me. They're down both of their shields, but so am I, and my Gligar is absolutely not going to be able to cook here. I'm going to go for the dig and just try to get some damage off on this Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff has been an absolute menace to this team. Oh man, so they are going to fire off their energy, get rid of my Gligar. They are going to Icy Wind. They don't have very much energy left, but I don't have very many options left. I have a Annihilape, which is weak to Charm, and I have my Feraligatr. I'm going to bring in my Annihilape to confirm that they don't attempt to instantaneously switch because they knew I had the Hydro loaded, and they don't. They bring in their Annihilape. However, I only got 1 counter with mine. They got 2 counters before and countered my Feraligatr down, so this is unfortunately game over. Shadow Ball blasts my Annihilape, and that's a GG. Remember how I said Wigglytuff is about the biggest core breaker I could think of? Well, that was very true because Azumarill wants to be a core breaker for this team, but really isn't. If it finds the Feraligatr, we're just in such a dominant position. I'm going to build up 7 Shadow Claws and fire off the Hydro Cannon. This is just before they're able to make the play rough, and I'm going to fire off 4 more and throw another Hydro Cannon. And now, as you're going to see, this Azumarill is getting increasingly low. They're down to a third of their HP. They are going to fire off a move here, but at this point, my job is done. And they Ice Beam me. Oh no, trainer, say it ain't so. I'm going to fire off another Hydro Cannon, CMPing them to their next Ice Beam. And Hydro Cannon is going to grab a shield from the Azumarill, but now they don't have any energy. So if they want to maintain switch, they're going to have to sit here and let me farm them all the way down. I get 7 Shadow Claws, a perfect farm down just before they make another Ice Beam, and they're going to bring in a Medicham. This person is absolutely a time traveler from the year 2021 because Medicham and Azumarill core is absolutely outdated. Azumarill is everywhere in the Go Battle League right now though, so I kind of understand. Gonna fire off a Hydro Cannon. I was able to make a last second Hydro there, and that is huge. I'm just gonna bring in Annihilape here, and the reason being is because we all know that every Medicham ever does not forego Ice Punch. So if they Ice Punch my Gligar, I'm in shambles, but if they Psychic my Ape here, I'm not in shambles. They're gonna bring in the Bastiodon here, and this is absolutely confirmed a time traveler because this is the oldest team in the book. Nevertheless, I'm going to reach for my Shadow Ball. I make the Shadow Ball, and this May not KO the Basti, but it'll put them in a very nice range for my Gligar. They live with very low HP, but all I have to do here is no shield, because nothing from this Bastiodon will threaten, and I'm going to be able to get to farm down before they're able to make another move. So if the Metachamp had an Ice Punch there, which I doubt that they did, I could just put up a shield, Aerial Ace, win CMP anyway, and game's over. Alright, into this next game, and Gator's going to lead into a spooky-ass Gremlin. It is going to be a purified Sableye. I'm perfectly fine with this lead. I'm going to build up 6 Shadow Claws and attempt to CMP tie them. However, they are going to make a pretty nice catch onto their Azumarill. That's fine. They don't know it yet, but this is ideally where I need their Azumarill. And them catching that move is going to prove to be very disadvantageous for them. No spoilers. I'm going to fire off the second Hydro Cannon here, dropping this Azumarill down below 50% health, and they are going to be able to make a play rough here, but not before I fire off another Hydro Cannon, and this is just disgusting behavior from the Feraligatr. They're going to fire off a play rough. A play rough would KO, but they threw their energy on alignment. I'm calling it. I'm putting a shield up, and now, because they threw their energy on alignment, they don't make another move. They get farmed down. They bring back in the Sableye, and they're getting bred like a book. I knew they would bring in the Sableye to try to deny my energy, but I'm reacting a lot faster than that. I know where your energy's at. I'm firing off the Hydro Cannon, winning CMP, making you throw the foul play into the Gator to get rid of it, and now Gligar is aligned onto the Sableye. I'm going to build up here, and now I don't really feel like preserving this Gligar, so I am going to no shield. This cannot be a return, and they are going to make an amazing catch. I throw my energy one before they would have made the foul play there, and they make another really good catch onto their Bastiodon. But the problem with catching onto Bastiodon is now all it's going to catch is a dead monkey's hands once again. Night Slash is going to put this into a perfect farm down range for me. And sure, you can fire off this flamethrower, but I would have to misplay the shit out of this game in order to lose. Shielding up the flamethrower is my lose con, but I see right through it. They top left. GG's to this trainer. Alright, into this next game, we're going to lead Feraligatr into a non-shadow Alolan Sandslash. I'm perfectly okay with this. I'm going to build up to the Hydro Cannon, and they are going to try to make a catch of my Hydro Cannon onto their Azumarill, but I am just not afraid of Azumarill, dude. I can just keep firing Hydro after Hydro, and these Azumarills seem to not know that this is not a good switch and down this much energy. I'm going to be more than happy to fire off a second Hydro onto the AZU, build up to another move, and at this point, I'm more than happy to commit my shield. Putting up a shield onto the AZU, and they are going to play rough. Shielding up that play rough just allows me to go for the dirtiest overfarm of my life. If you need a shower after seeing that, I don't blame you. Anyway, we are double cheeked up here, so I have double Hydro Cannon, and I'm gonna CMP them on their play rough here. They absolutely are in shambles. They have to give me both of their shields or both of their cheeks. They're going to opt to give me both of their shields. I probably would go with that option too. Nevertheless, they're going to fire off the play rough. It's going to KO my Feraligatr, but now, since they don't have Ice Beam, I'm confident of it. I'm bringing in my Gligar, farming this AZU all the way down. They were on the 6th cycle, so not quite able to make a move there, and they can't bring in the Sandslash. Sandslash will absolutely get killed in one dig, or very close to it. They're going to bring in the Cresselia in the back, so I'm going to fire off dig number 1. Dig number 1 onto the Cresselia, going to do solid damage, nearly bringing them down to about 50% health. Now dig number 2 is going to bring them down even further, and I'm perfectly fine with tanking whatever energy this is. This trainer doesn't know this, but they are absolutely cooked, because in the back they're gonna bring in their Alolan Sandslash. I'm gonna bank the Aerial Ace for later. I'm gonna bring in my Annihilape, and this is just a Sandslash's absolute worst nightmare. A Sandslash checks under his bed every night just in case Annihilape is there, because it is getting punched all the way down from start to finish. I can shield up the second move. They get farmed all the way down. I have a move loaded on the Annihilape. Night Slash is going to be more than enough to KO the Cresselia, so GG's to this trainer, and very well played to them. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, as always, and I'm really interested in hearing your guys' opinions on today's video. I know this is a different style of content than you're used to hearing from me. Hopefully it's not too terribly jarring, and you guys were able to enjoy it all the same. With that being said, please feel free to leave any and all comments with regards to today's video style in the comment section down below. I love reading all your guys' comments. And with that being said, thanks again so much for watching. This has been Shmeaty. I hope to see you guys next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.